What's up, Wolsters? So with all this BS about all this, voter fraud, election fraud, widespread voting, fraudulent ballots where Donald Trump actually won, but the election was actually stolen by Joe Biden, that all his supporters are pushing that Fox News is sort of mixed on. You have some anchors pushing back on this crap, while other ones are sort of perpetuating that there's voter fraud and blah, 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 all this, right? Well, this made me think. I was thinking, like, it's crazy how Donald Trump said, oh, I lost the election. No, I didn't. There was voter fraud without any fucking evidence. None whatsoever. It's not like he had an investigation and then he uncovered voter fraud and said, like, oh, wait a minute, hold on now, wait, let's hold your fucking horses. I didn't lose the election. It was stolen. Joe Biden stole it, or whoever the fuck, states stole it. Democratic governors, they were in on this plot to make the election fraudulent, and they stole it from me. Nah, that didn't happen. He just fucking outright said, I didn't lose. It was stolen. And then you have all his fucking NPC supporters. Yep, that was it. Well, come on, think about it. It makes sense, right? Despite there being no fucking evidence. I mean, you have Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump and all these other fucking people telling the media, going on Fox, going on whatever fucking news network will platform them and saying that they have all this fucking evidence, but yet they go to court and it just gets thrown out even by Republican judges, mind you, right? So this made me sort of think, like, man, if Donald Trump never said that, I guarantee you, 100% sure that all his supporters wouldn't be fucking yelling out the top of their lungs, voter fraud. That would not be the case. And of course, we also have to remember that it all began with him saying that there was going to be voter fraud because of the mail-in votes and all that dumb shit, right? So this made me think. Oh, and by the way, let's not forget that this fool Donald Trump just fired the guy that was supposed to investigate election fraud, right? Because he didn't find any. So he just, you didn't find what I'm saying happened? No evidence. Fired. See what I'm saying? So this made me think, like, man, you know what? This reminds me of something that that I remember from college, and so I did a little bit of research, going off of my memory, to refresh my memory, to jog my memory, and there was this psychologist / sociologist that from Germany during the time that the Nazis rose to power, right? During the time that Hitler rose to power, and he saw some atrocious things, right? He saw some people blindly follow Adolf Hitler, and he fled from Germany. He came to the United States and did a big study here in the United States whose findings he called the authoritarian personality. And so what he wanted to know was, why the fuck do people just blindly follow authoritarian leaders? Like, is there some personality trait that makes them do this? What the fuck is it? So what he did was he questioned about 3,000 people, all right, and these people, within these 3,000 people, you had just like all sorts of backgrounds, right? You had college professors, doctors, even prison inmates, right? Just like from every background you could think of. And what he did was he measured their ethnocentrism, their anti-Semitism, and their support for strong authoritarian leaders. Okay, and the reason I made this connection is because, look, at the end of the day, whether you want to say so or not, Donald Trump definitely has authoritarian tendencies. The only reason he's not an outright authoritarian leader is because we have a constitution stopping that shit, right? So what his findings were is that the people that scored high on any of those, right? Ethnocentrism, what was the other one? Anti-Semitism and support for a strong authoritarian leader. They scored either high on all of them or low on all of them. Okay, and when asked, they agreed that leaders should be strong and authoritarian. They also believed that foreign customs, aka like immigrants, foreign culture are like a detriment. They're bad for society, right? Foreign culture, foreign customs, bad. Okay, and when pushed further, he noticed that these individuals that scored high on this, that they either wanted to see things in black or white. Things are either so or they're not so, right? Anything in between, they got like frustrated and flustered, right? They can't explain it, right? Like their minds, I guess, didn't critically analyze things and see yes or no, right? Black and white. And so, in my opinion, and actually, the opinion of a lot of psychologists say, are like, yeah, there's a lot of Trump supporters that are like that, right? Like, again, Trump says there's widespread voter fraud. For them, there is. That's it. Oh, no evidence? Let me do mental gymnastics to justify why, the news networks are lying. They're pushing a narrative. They're suppressing Donald Trump. Did you want to bury him? All this shit. Okay. What else? There was something else, but well, I guess it doesn't make sense. But so this was a big study, right? 3,000 people, and not like it didn't receive any pushback, because there was actually some criticism of the study that said, look, at the end of the day, it's not that the researchers that sort of criticized Theodore Adorno's study. His name was, I don't know if I mentioned his name, but the psychologist that did this study, his name was Theodore Adorno, okay, who fled from Germany, and other researchers said, nah, you didn't really find like this authoritarian personality. What you found was a lack of education, which we already know, right? People who lack an education tend to sort of value these things as well, right? They tend to be more ethnocentric. They tend to be more anti-Semitic, and they tend to favor strong authoritarian personalities, right? And then sort of not critically think. They haven't been taught to critically analyze information and to think critically, right? It's either things are either so or they're not so. Anything in between, they get frustrated and flustered and so on, right? So the pushback is, no, what you actually uncovered is just a lack of education, right? So so it really made me think of that, man. Like, damn, Theodore Adorno seemed to be right, because well, you know what? Either he's right or the other guys were right. A lack of education, because isn't it the case that most people who are Trump supporters, who vote for Trump, do lack an education, right? They're less educated, so to speak, right? So, yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think. You can actually sort of get information on this study in Wikipedia. There's a lot of information on that study, right? If you actually Google it, there's other stuff, but if you go into Wikipedia, it sort of breaks down like the methodology for it a little bit. So, that way you don't have to like actually get access to a database and get like the actual study. I mean, hey, if you could, more power to you. Go ahead. I probably encourage that. But if you like, that way you don't have to pay for it, do that as well. Anyways, give me a like, subscribe. I'll see you till the next time. Later.